Grace is greater than mercy, man. That's something really quick that I wanted to share. I don't know, I got like 10 minutes. I have a lot in my mind right now. Overload of thoughts. Anyway, so I posted the other day, grace is greater than mercy. And by the way, in Pastor Bob, and he gave me the opportunity also to preach on that subject at Abundant Life Church in Brownwood, Texas. We have this series going on. It's called Grace is Greater. And we touch, subjects as grace is greater than your guilt, than your depression. Grace is greater than, any financial stress. Really good stuff, my personal favorite, which is the one I gave last Sunday. Grace is greater than your guilt. And I touched the subject about a fake gospel, what a fake gospel is, and why it's important to recognize it. Because a fake gospel, it looks like the real thing, but it's just bad news with the label of good news. And by the way, if you don't make any sense, gospel, the word gospel means good news. That's literally what it means, good news. So if somebody say, well, I'm here to preach the good news, the gospel, that means they're going to tell you good news. And then I'm just like thinking, like a lot of these people, including myself in the past, I would say, well, I preach the gospel. And then I would tell them, well, you're going to hell if you don't believe it. Like, what the hell is that? That ain't good news, baby. So guess what? That is not the gospel. That's a fake gospel. And unfortunately, not throwing, shade at anybody, not casting stones. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. A lot of people, a lot of preachers, including myself, like I mentioned before, I used to preach fake news, a fake gospel, counterfeit, not real. Looks like it because we talk about Jesus, but that's it. We just throw Jesus every now and then just to not sound, kind of weird. And then obviously there's some others that all they preach about is demons and all about them. And like makes me wonder, are they like more like Satanists than Christians? Because all they talk about is Satan. That's for another story. Anyway, and so I just want to bring this up because, this is a topic that is misunderstood. And I've heard this from many preachers. And I've been to many churches, mega churches, small churches, local churches, medium-sized churches, here in town in Abilene, Texas, and around the nation. I've been to Elevation Church. I've been to Cornerstone in San Diego. I've been to, Lakewood, Grace Church in Houston. Funny enough, and it seems to be all across the board. A lot of preachers confused, and I used to be one of them, grace with mercy. And I just want to clear this up real quick. Grace is greater than mercy. Grace is not the same as mercy. Might be related. They kind of look the same, but they are not the same thing. Grace is greater. Grace is better. Grace is far beyond our imagination. And by the way, grace is not something. It's not a theology. It's not a book. Although you should buy my book. It's called Good God, Good News, Good Grace. Amazing. But grace is not something. It's not something you can lose. It's not something you can acquire. Because grace, by its definition, its pure definition, is undeserved gift. You don't deserve it. And this grace is Jesus. We did not deserve Jesus to come and die on the cross in our place, all of that goodies, but he did. It's an undeserved gift. So again, a counterfeit gospel will leave you feeling empty and with guilt, and will tell you, well, grace, as soon as you step into a nightclub, grace stays outside. And I understand where they're coming from. Ignorance. They don't know grace. They don't know Jesus. Straight up. And I am using myself as an example. I'm not casting stones at anybody, man. I'm putting myself on the front. I used to be that preacher. I didn't know what grace was. I thought it was just a topic in the Bible. It ain't. Grace is the essence of the Bible, from old to new. All the Bible points to grace. All the Bible points to Jesus. That's it. The Bible never points to the Bible. The Bible always points to Jesus. And many of us are so stubborn to just focus in the Bible, when the Bible is telling you, hey, it's not about me, it's about Jesus. Even Jesus told the Pharisees, you guys search the scriptures, you guys study the scriptures, the law, the Torah, you guys study the Torah like hardcore, thinking that in them you will find life. But they actually are pointing you to me, yet I am in front of you and you refuse to come to me. But anyway, that's for another story. It's crazy though. It's been a long, it's actually not even that long, it's been a journey. And I'm so thankful, grace found me, Jesus found me. My goodness. And I was a preacher for over 10 years. Pastor, associate pastor, executive pastor, worship pastor, and I did not know Jesus. Crazy stupid, man. And I will preach about him because it's easy to preach about something. You just go read it. Okay, I know something. Boom. The only way to know grace, to know Jesus, is to experience it. You don't read it, you don't hear it, you experience it. And it's crazy. But anyway, let me just get down to this. Grace is greater than mercy. What do I mean by that? Well, like I mentioned, grace is an undeserved gift. And grace is Jesus, by the way. So, if you think you deserve something, you think you deserve salvation, you miss the point. You don't. Because you don't. It's an undeserved gift. You don't deserve it. And if you think you deserve it, that's called works. That's what the law is all about. That's what the Torah is all about. Works. You do stuff to get blessed. You do stuff to get more blessings. But that's not what grace is all about. You don't do nothing, and yet you get everything. It's crazy, man. So here's the example that many preachers, including myself in the past, have used, and I'm just here to debunk it. That's it. I'm finishing within the next 2-3 minutes. They use this example, and it's funny because I have a cup like behind me. Okay, he already moved. And so they use this example. Let's imagine you're driving and then you get pulled. I was like wishing I get pulled over, man. It's stupid. Nobody wishes that. I was wishing I could get pulled over by that cop. But anyway, they use this example. You're driving, you get pulled over by a cop, you're speeding, and then at the end of the day, whatever, they don't give you a ticket. That's grace. I'm like, no, baby, that's not grace. That's mercy. And that's what many of us need to stop thinking. It comes with understanding, Then we think like God is so graceful. No. God in the Old Testament was given grace before the law came to be. Once the law came to be, he was given mercy. Because they have to fulfill stuff. And if they didn't, they had to get cursed. And so when it didn't happen, that was not grace. That was mercy. So I'll get pulled over by a cop. I don't get a ticket. I just get a warning. And preachers say, that is grace. That is not grace. That is mercy. Because I was supposed to get this ticket because I was speeding, but I didn't get it. I didn't get that. So I was shown mercy. Grace is this. I'm speeding. I get pulled over. The cop shows up. What's going on? This is grace. I get pulled over. I'm speeding. The cop pulls me over, whatever. And then he says, man, I know you were speeding, but here's a voucher for $1,000 so you can go to AutoZone and just buy a new carburetor, whatever the heck you want to buy with it. No cop does that. And that's exactly my point, because the point of the law is never, ever to give you life. It's never to bless you. The point of the law is always to curse you. That's what the law is all about. You never see cops pulling people over. Oh, I just wanted to pull you over because you're doing great. You are following, the 3-second stop. You are following the red lights. You are following everything. You are turning on your lights. Man, I want to congratulate you. They never do that. They only pull you over when you effed up, when you mess up. Now they pull you over. That's what the law is all about. That's what the Torah is all about. Grace, on the other hand, it stops you on your tracks and even blesses you. That's stupid. It makes no sense. And it gets the people that are working hard for their stuff mad, because I'm not doing anything and I still got it. Grace is the greatest equalizer of all. Jesus is the greater equalizer. He came to stop all that religious bullcrap, all that religious elite. And so, anyways, that's what grace is not. That's grace. That's not grace. you were shown mercy. Grace goes beyond mercy. It's greater than mercy. Grace says you should have got a ticket for speeding, but instead I'm gonna give you $1,000. Here is the cop will give you $1,000. Now you can go to Best Buy, Apple, whatever. They never do that, of course. That's the natural law. That's all I wanted to share. Mercy stops you from getting your punishment per se, but grace goes beyond. It's greater, and it stops you from getting your punishment, but it adds good stuff. It adds a blessing to it. That's it. I choose Jesus over the law anytime. Have a good day. Love you, man.